Today I'm here with David Goldstein, founder of TeamBonding, a company that has become North America's leading team building company around a simple but powerful idea that he calls the power of play. Over the past 25 years, he's been at the forefront of creating engaging programs that have really shaped team building. They've expanded into virtual events and charitable initiatives, and that has all helped earn his company, TeamBonding, a place on the Inc. 5000 list. David, welcome to the show, and let's dive right in.
Thanks, Rob. We're happy to be here.
David, let's start with the basics. What is team building, and why is that important for small and mid-sized businesses?
Team building, it's funny, it's changed over the years. It kind of grew up around me. I've been doing it for 30 plus years. So initially, it was the time of trust falls, and there's a lot of jokes about various versions of trust falls. The real it's grown into things that people are passionate about. Ideally, you work with someone day after day, sitting in the next office or sitting across the screen. You want to get to know them better. You need to be able to trust them. It's an intentional connection. Um, and I think it's grown up where it's now affecting company culture, it's employee engagement, employee retention. Team building is an important part of a business's strategy to keep their people and attract people.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things that we've noticed, and I talk a lot about, is culture's changed a lot. Right? It's become more important. The younger generations are a lot more into culture. I think the older generations are appreciating it too. And then, of course, a lot of businesses have gone from in the office to hybrid or fully remote. You have multiple generations in the workplace. How has the approach to team building evolved to meet some of those shifts, if it's changed at all?
I think it's changed, quite a bit. I used to, say that we worked on, trends. So in the beginning, one of our first, big hit was scavenger hunts, and scavenger hunts went from Polaroid cameras to digital cameras to iPads to, and now it's back actually to Polaroid, as a nostalgia thing. And then we worked on culinary team building, and then we worked on high tech team building, and then we worked on escape rooms. So different things have different lives, and they have different ways to get people involved. An escape room is a good example. We have a mobile escape room, and different people have to do different things. So I think it's important to know in anything what the strengths are of your team members. Um, I remember with scavenger hunts, one of the things we did very early on, we did a scavenger hunt with a company that it was a limousine scavenger hunt, and they went out and the boss basically had $50 bills, and his version of team building is he paid every location $50 not to let another team do it, which could have been probably the worst example of team building I've
Yeah,
ever seen.
yeah, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. David, when I talk to business owners about something around team building, some of them say something like, "Oh, we did a team building exercise 3 years ago. It was great, and that was that. Full stop. They're done." Is team building a one-off event, or is it something that um, that should be done on a regular basis?
I think it can be done as a one-off event, but I think people always ask us, we would like to do a team building event, and we'd like to do this program and for this reason, and what can we expect to gain from this? Well, 2 hours, you can't expect to gain a lot. And, you can, potentially bond people. You have shared experiences. There are a lot of things you can bank on for that. But to get the real benefit out of it, you have to do something on a regular basis. So what one builds on something else. So
Yeah.
you can't just do a kind of a one-hit, leadership thing and then expect them all to be leaders. You need something to follow up and coach and work with them on from there.
So, can you elaborate on that a little bit more in terms of how often and do you typically work with companies on a multi-year basis, like on a program, like, hey, okay, you want to accomplish this, whatever this might be. Like, I really want to develop my leaders, for example. And what we'll do, on month one is this, and on month six, we'll do this, on month 12, on month 24. How does that typically look?
Well, we're very much designed on outcomes. It's instead of, what are you looking for? It's what are you looking to, at the end of the time that we work together, what is it that you want to accomplish?
Right.
And then we will propose examples, and programs that fit those needs, whether it's collaboration, whether it's trust, whether it's just having fun as a group. and then we'll work with them on a schedule of doing more things. And then we have some clients that are that work with us on a regular basis for interns or for volunteering. So we have a kind of different versions of what we do for people.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So you basically start with what's the end result we're trying to do, and then you build the appropriate program. Are most programs usually over a period of time, or are they usually finite?
I mean, most of our typical programs are 2 to 4 hours. Um, and that's a couple of hours as far as just in dinner in the afternoon in the morning that fits something else. With training programs, we might do an assessment like a Myers-Briggs or a DISC or a Belbin, and then after they take the assessment, then what they do is they do an activity, and then you debrief it and say, okay, well, this is what you learned, and this is how you do it, and these are the people you work with for this these different outcomes.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
So it's got a little bit more meaning to it.
Right. Is there a common denominator in your clients? In it, what? Let me rephrase the question. Somebody who has the foresight to say, all right, you know what, team building's going to be really important for us. What have you found is like a common denominator when you look at, let's say, those business owners who say that team building's really important? Is it that they're very big into the culture? Is it that they're again just aggregating them together? They're trying to accomplish something. Is there something unique about people who come to your business and say, hey, I need some help with some of this stuff?
I don't know if it's specifically unique. I think companies that do team building value their people. I mean, you're investing in your people. You want people don't leave, or they may leave for a little bit more salary, but they're not going to leave a company or a boss or a culture that they enjoy.
Right.
It's we do it here at Team Bonding. We try to practice what we preach. We do things that we think people will enjoy, that they'll talk about, that they can't do elsewhere, that they feel valued and appreciated. And I think that team building is an investment in your people. That you value them, you want them to succeed, that you want them to work better together, and that helps the company succeed.
Well, that I think, by the way, what's inherent in your response there is that these are the business owners that are coming to you are business owners that actually value their people. They see them as a strategic asset, and
Yes.
you and I may take that for granted as we're having this conversation, but they're not all business owners feel that way. A lot of them look at them as an expense and expendable, et cetera.
And I can't say that we haven't done that in the beginning, but we've kind of grown to realize, you know, we're a little bit of a family business. So the people that work for us, we almost feel like extended family.
Right.
So we have, many different ways to engage them. We have a Slack channel that people post in every Monday about what they did this weekend. So you can get a chance to see what their life is outside of team bonding. We have, food truck Tuesdays in the summer. So we're doing, every Tuesday we're doing something different, food that they haven't tried or haven't enjoyed, right in the back. And then we're testing out programs, and we're doing all sorts of things, because I think we're competing for people. We're competing to get the best talent. And to do that, you have to make them happy, and you have to focus on, growing them and allowing them to achieve what they're looking to achieve.
Yeah. Have you found, or have your clients found that that doing team bonding experiences, team building experiences, has helped with retention of their top talent?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a channel on Slack that basically is all testimonials. After an event, the client will write back and say, "We did this. This is how it worked. This is who did it," and it's probably the best channel that we have, because it really shows the whole team, how they're involved, and how what we accomplished by doing the event.
Gotcha. It makes that's pretty cool. You've worked with so many organizations over the years. When somebody says to you, "All right, I get this, David. I want to do some of this team building stuff." Is there ever like a trap that some of them fall into, or a mistake that some of them make, whether they're coming to you or whether they just are trying to do something on their own?
It's a good question. I think the expectations has to be set, as far as what they really are looking to accomplish, and making sure that within the time period and within the program that they choose, you know, their expectations can be met. do they want them to come out as a collaborative? Do they want a winner? Do they want more? What is it that they're looking for the program to deliver? And we can customize it to them. So if we're doing a game show, or we're doing a scavenger hunt, or we're doing a cooking program, we can customize the menu. We can customize the artwork. We can customize anything that delivers the result that they want. And I think that's the real secret to it, is to know what you want to get out of it. You just can't just throw money out and go, all right, just surprise me. It doesn't work.
Yeah, like a lot of things in business, being intentional about what you're trying to accomplish. Again, it sounds like common sense, but I think, and I've been guilty in the past in all sorts of areas of business of kind of violating that principle, just being really clear on what you're trying to accomplish. Um, David, you have switching gears a little bit. You have overseas team members. How, given the fact that you're in the team building business, how did you integrate those overseas team members into your business?
I guess in the beginning, we involved them in Slack, and we involved them in company meetings, and we involved them in things that we do. We just did an event, just a quick event, called Left Right Center. Have you ever played Left Right Center?
I don't think so. No.
It's a dice game. So we all gathered around the back of the office and different tables, and you roll the dice. We gave everybody $30, and basically the game ends up where somebody wins all the money. So each table, I think they won maybe $200. So they rolled the dice, and the money would go to the left, the money would go to the right, the money would go to center. We played for about 15 or 20 minutes. But the thing that I liked most of all is we have 4 remote virtual international members, and each one of them was matched up with a player. So they got to see it. They got to be involved. They got to, if their person won, they got the money as well. So we do things to involve them. We involve them in virtual team building events, whether it be game shows or art programs or anything like that. We try to do as much as we can to integrate them into the culture of the company.
Yeah, yeah, that became apparent as you were telling me some of the things you're doing. Basically, your approach has just been integrating them like anybody else into the company, right?
It's not as easy, but I think because we're on Zoom all the time, and because they're part of our meetings, and they're part of the Slack channels as far as what people do, and we know when they get they have occasions, we can celebrate them as well, and that's been kind of I don't know about a secret, but it's a key part of making us a team.
Yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. David, thanks for sharing all of this information with myself and with our audience. Where can people find out more about you and TeamBonding?
Well, the easiest is to find it at the website, which is teambonding.com. We're in the process of redeveloping it a little bit more for AI and that type of thing, but that's got all of our programs, a little bit about us, videos, everything that they would need to at least know what we do and how we do it, and we'd be happy to talk to them.
Sounds good. David, thanks for being on the show and sharing your insights with us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to see you.
Me too.